there. My name is Nikki Chun, and I'm the Director of Undergraduate Admissions at the California Institute of Technology, also known as Caltech. We are located in Pasadena, California, which I recognize and acknowledge sits on the ancestral lands of the Tongva people. I am really honored to be asked to share a message with those that are taking a look at the Reinvented magazine. It's always great to know that connections work in the ways that they do. And I've been asked to talk about mental health during the college application process. So I want to start off by telling you a little bit about me. My pronouns are she, her. I identify as a part Native Hawaiian, part Chinese, cisgender, hetero, first generation college, woman of size. I've been in college admission for now 16, maybe 17 years. And Caltech is the third institution that I have worked in college admission, and it has been my absolute honor to be a part of the stories of students that are heading to college. Whether they were heading to the institution I was working or not, I have been able to be invited to a number of amazing stories of students as they are looking out at the world and finding their place in it. So when I was asked to talk about mental health in the college admission process, the very first thing I thought of was the fact that as of this month, November 2020, I am looking at the 3rd year anniversary of my relationship with my therapist. And I have become very much a believer of speaking openly about the benefits of taking care of your mental health, particularly the benefits of talk therapy. I feel very fortunate to have found someone within the therapy profession who I think understands me in different dimensions, who I am as a human being, and it really has been a relationship. I have seen a therapist along the way, especially in my adult life, a little bit in my childhood, but until I really started to come to terms with how important it was to stick to seeing someone. You know, I was definitely one of those that would only seek out help when I was at a really frustrating point. And then when I felt better, I stopped seeing the therapist. I've come to think of this as antibiotics, right? You're supposed to take the entire prescription even after you feel better. I also knew that this therapist was a really good fit for me when a couple of weeks into seeing her, I tried to wiggle out of a session because, you know, my priorities were in other places. And I thought, you know, I'm feeling fine. Why do I need to talk to my therapist? And she wouldn't let me wiggle out. So I knew right then that it was exactly the kind of person that I needed to give me just that little nudge when I was not giving that to myself. And I've been able to benefit from my talk therapy sessions with her ever since, on a weekly basis. So talking about mental health, I believe in being open about my own journey, because, you know, I really think that there isn't a reason to hide. I don't understand the stigma, and the stigma has hit me in a personal way, because I lost my mother to early onset Alzheimer's and dementia. This was back in 2015. I attribute that to, you know, my mother having a resistance to seeing a therapist and being able to talk through what was happening with her. But I feel like it's a stigma that a number of communities of color carry. In fact, when I shared I mean, I talk about my therapist so regularly now. When I told my dad that I was seeing someone, my father's reaction was, "Why? There's nothing wrong with you." And so I think first and foremost, if you're thinking about mental health, um, it's especially and in the context of the college process, it's important to know it's a lifelong journey. I didn't really start that journey until after college. So I think it's wonderful that there are students that are at these stages in their life, these earlier stages, thinking about the role that taking care of your mental health can play in a process like college admission. So I would offer that if you're trying to think about caring for your mental health in the college admission process, um, I hope that you are thinking about the folks that are there to support you. I hope that you're thinking about folks that are part of supporting your system, whether in professional roles, so teachers, counselors. Perhaps you are seeing a talk therapist. Perhaps this might be a good time to start. It might be a good time to explore that as a part of your own support system. Um, I think it's one thing to think about how you might feel compelled to go this alone, um, or also thinking about this in a way that um, you are very much capable of holding your own with the help and support of others around you, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think we make each other stronger. And it's why, to me, relationships and connections are monstrously important in the college admission process. If you're watching this video, very likely somebody has turned you around to um, the kinds of people that you could rely on in this process. So there are folks within your own schools and organizations, and now online, I think you'll find access to even more people who, many of us in this profession are simply here because we want to help you. And more often than not, it's assistance in the process and not unique to the schools that we work for. So as you're navigating the college admission process, what I would offer from my own lived experiences and in my role in college admission and higher education, first of all, is to take lots of really, really good deep breaths. And especially now, in a time of this global pandemic, and in a time of much more intentional, deliberate conversations around social and racial injustices, especially in the US, to take a deep breath and bring you back to yourself, bring you back to the center of you. You're the best person still who can take care of yourself. So, that's why I share a message with our prospective students to Caltech to take care of themselves, take care of their families, and take care of their communities, and trust that everything else will fall thereafter. I trust it. I hope that others will find their own ways to trust it as well. You are at your best to yourself and to your future college community when you have put yourself at the center of your universe and taking care of you in the best way you know how. And you're really the only person who knows how to do that. So in the college admission process, I hope that there are lots of people out there that want to support you, are ready to support you, and that you're gonna be okay. That might sound a little trite and simple, but I find that it's still true all these many years later. You're gonna be okay. There are lots of folks that have been a part of your journey to this point, and folks that will be there now and thereafter. Sometimes maybe you just need a really good reminder to look up and look around. The college admission process is one of those times that you can remember to take care of yourself and to let others help take care of you too. So I hope that this information resonates with you in some way that will shape your process. And I guess I'll end with reminding you. I'm not quite sure the origin of this quote, but it really resonates with me. A reminder that you are your ancestors' wildest dreams. And college to me is a way for you to help make your ancestors' dreams even wilder and more true than they ever were. So thank you again for letting me be a part of this. And I wish everyone all the best as you are embarking on this journey. Ahui ho and aloha.